I said that we are not talking of transferences born out of sexual instinct. We are also not talking of transferences born out of aggressive instinct. We are talking of transferences born out of ego instincts, of self-preservatory instincts, of self-protective instincts, of development-seeking instincts, which is, of course, a new and enlarged view of transference. Transference is no longer viewed as only a repetition of what happened, or what should have happened, or what one wants to happen, or what thought happened, or what one imagined to have happened, but what needed to have happened, what did not happen, what one still needs in order to be oneself, in order to grow, in order to become mentally healthier. With that, let me begin with the list of 10 different interventions. First, non-verbal is strengthening of the patient's self and ego. Non-verbal. We do things, we are in certain ways, our actions, attitudes, interventions, our office, all this silently provides a certain kind of strengthening to the patient, a certain kind of relaxation, a certain kind of comfort, a certain kind of hope, a certain kind of optimism. How? First, the office. The office of a therapist must not be ostentatious. Don't have a big black piano and a water fountain in your office. There are people who have. There are people who have water fountain in the office, going like this. I don't think it's a good idea. And I'll explain to you why not. And also don't have an office that is utterly Spartan, with nothing on the walls, and just 2 chairs and maybe a couch, and nothing, no carpet, no paintings, no books, nothing. I've seen that office also of somebody else. The reason to not have an office which is ostentatious or so shockingly Spartan is because of Winnicott. Winnicott says there are 2 relationships between mother and baby: holding and relating. Holding is the mother's arm, in which the mother is holding the baby and then talking to the baby, or feeding the baby, or smiling with the baby, or talking and smiling and looking at the baby. But this arm in which the baby is held should become unnoticed. It shouldn't be shaking. Then the relating will get disturbed. The office provides holding. And when it is ostentatious or a Spartan, it's like the shaking arm of the mother. It calls for attention. The office should stop calling for attention after the first 1 or 2 visits. It should become like a home. It should not be changed frequently. It should not be ostentatious. It should not be Spartan. It must be authentic without self-revealing. And that is one provision, non-verbal provision, in which the patient comes again and again and again and again, and week after week and month after month, and finds the office same. And that feels like home. That predictability and reliability and solidity of the office gratifies an ego need for a stability for a growing child. So let me make the list again. Non-verbal provisions to strengthen the ego, validation of reality, thinking space. Validation of reality, very important in case of racism, prejudice, minority, and other kinds of, homophobia, transphobia, all kinds of things, minorities of various kinds. Validation of reality, creation of thinking space, provision of words, continuing to work optimistically in face of reprehensible material, accepting the inevitability of regression, enhancing personal agency, And restraining psychoanalytic greed, seeing goodness in the patient. See, that's the mother's job, seeing goodness in the patient. And I have many clinical examples about that. And then helping restrain the analytic greed and helping the patient talk about the limits of life and such. This whole work takes place in the setting of anonymity, neutrality, and abstinence, in the setting of free association, listening, clarification, interpretation, reconstruction. So we don't have to become something different. We just have to become something additional. There are two kinds of psychoanalysis. One is called maternal psychoanalysis, which is Winnicottian and Cohercian and developmentalist, and one is paternal psychoanalysis, which is Freudian and Kleinian. And I think it's much better for a child to be raised by both mother and father, and it's much better for a patient in psychotherapy to receive both a maternal attitude and a paternal attitude, an affirmative and validating and credulous attitude, and a skeptical and confronting and an unmasking attitude. Psychoanalysis cannot afford to be only maternal or only paternal. Both things are needed, and both things facilitate development. Thank you very much.